We're finding that a lot of people from around areas other than Joondalup are coming up here to attempt their tests. And one of the things that they have trouble with is the merge points around Joondalup. So what's happened here is we've just driven down a road which was one lane in both directions, and now we find ourselves in a situation where there are two lanes. You can see quite clearly from the camera there are two lanes of traffic lined up here to cross this intersection. When that happens, you get to the other side of the intersection and it will merge back from two lanes to one lane. So people from outside the area who come to Joondalup and drive through here, a lot of the time they don't recognise the situation of merge points. And it's not rocket surgery and it's not brain science. You just need to recognise that when you go through the intersection and it's gone from one lane to two, that when you get to the other side of the intersection it is going to go from two lanes back to one. It just makes sense. So there's no excuse for not seeing merge points in Joondalup. One of the other things at the merge areas is that there is a great big sign, and in some cases signs on both sides of the road that say form one lane, and you're the driver, you're meant to be filtering out the signs that are important to you. So here we go, we're about to get a green light here. When we travel through this traffic light, we're travelling in the dead straight line and we're going to merge at the other side. So we hold our line nice and straight, we get to the other side just here, we check our blind spot, in this case over my left shoulder. If you were in the left lane going through there, you would check your blind spot to the right side. But you would also put your indicator on, because from the left lane you need to deviate or diverge across from the left lane back to the one remaining lane. So that was one merge point. We go down the hill and around the corner, and here we come up towards a set of traffic lights again. Currently there's one lane travelling in this direction, and lo and behold, when we get to the traffic lights there are two lanes. We can see the white dividing line. So we can choose whichever lane we like here, and we're going to go through in the right hand lane here. We get to the other side, just now we check our blind spot over our left shoulder, and we hold our line nice and straight all the way through. Now this is the same intersection from the opposite direction, and as you can see, again, there is one lane of traffic going in this direction, and when we get to the traffic lights it expands out to two lanes. Now I'm holding a position in this lane rather than the left lane because this is the natural one that goes straight ahead. We get to the other side, we check our blind spot just now. We don't indicate because we're going in a dead straight line. If we were in the left lane, yes, we would indicate because we'd be diverging across. And here is the set of lights that was the first one we went through, the merge point that we went through initially from the other direction. Again, one lane here coming up to two. Now you notice I'm stopping behind somebody who is turning right. If you look at these traffic lights, they have a provision for a right turning arrow. You can see on the lights that they are wider than normal. And so when this light goes green, this guy on the motorbike is going to be able to turn straight away because the traffic on the other side will be facing a red light. We can continue straight ahead unimpeded. If this was a traffic light that did not have an arrow, then I wouldn't have come up and stopped behind the person that was turning right. I would go to the other lane, and I'd have that choice because there are two lanes. But you need to apply common sense when you're driving. It's not that bloody hard. If you can't work this out, then you're probably not ready to sit your license. So you need to have a good think about it. So here we go, the lights are about to turn green, and away we go. So straight ahead, when we get here, we check over our shoulder and continue straight. If there was a car in the left lane that was in front of us, we would let them go first. It's whoever's got their nose in front at the merge point that goes first. Pretty straightforward. Now for all of those merge points that we've just been through, all four of them, there was nothing difficult about them. Anyone who's a competent driver or approaching competency, which is a candidate for a driving test, you would think, they should be able to handle that situation. They're all pretty much the same. It's one lane going into two, through the traffic lights, 2 lanes going into one. As I said before, it's not rocket surgery. Now, there are exceptions to this, and they are on both ends of Grand Boulevard, just before you get to the single lane section in the middle of the central business district. There are merge points that occur before the traffic lights. So I'm going to take you through them shortly and show you how to handle them. Now this is Grand Boulevard. Grand Boulevard is mainly 2 lanes in both directions, but there is one small section of Grand Boulevard that is 1 lane in both directions. And we're coming up to it shortly. Now there'll be a merge point before the traffic lights. Now I'm going to turn right at the traffic lights, so I'm positioning myself in the right-hand lane. But up ahead, as you can see, there are signs to say form 1 lane, and when this dividing line in the middle of these 2 lanes finishes, this is the merge point. Now I'm turning right, I've got my indicator on. Here's the merge point. I've got to check over my left shoulder right now. And then I move into the turning lane. Now you may be going straight, you may be turning right, or you may be turning left. Regardless, you are going through a merge point. And if you're going through a merge point, you have to check your blind spot. End of story. If you don't do it, you will be marked down in your driving test. It's an essential component of merging. You must check your blind spot. So as you can see, the traffic continues there along Grand Boulevard, but it is only 1 lane. Now that guy's doing I'm going to stop here. There's an amber turning lane, turning arrow. Now this light has now reverted from a traffic light with an arrow to a traffic light without an arrow. So now I move out approximately a car length and I'll wait until it's safe to turn the corner. So there are traffic lights around Joondalup like this, which change their nature partway through the phase. So initially they may have an arrow and then they don't have an arrow. You've got to be agile enough to adjust to that. If you're the first car in line, when the arrow drops, you have to move out immediately. Now I'm having trouble seeing here, so I'm just waiting until I can see, and there's a big enough gap. This guy's stopping. I go around. Yes, the light's changed to red, but that's fine. Okay, this is Grand Boulevard from the opposite direction, heading south. Now we have a similar situation at this end, where the road currently is 2 lanes in both directions, and when we get to the traffic lights, just before the traffic lights, there is a merge point. As you can see down here, there's the form 1 lane signs, and you might be going straight, you might be turning right, or you might be turning left at the traffic lights. Regardless, when we go through this merge point that commences here, if you're merging across, then yes, indicate and move across. But for us, we're going to stay left, we're going to indicate left now, cut across all these lines and go straight into the turning lane. It's pointless for us to merge across if we're going to turn left. So if you'd been going straight ahead, you would have done the proper merge. If you'd been turning right, you would have done the proper merge and then moved into the right-hand lane. But because we were turning left, we simply stayed left and made a beeline straight for the left-hand lane. That's perfectly legal. So that pretty much covers most of the merge areas around Joondalup. If you can't handle that sort of stuff, then get up here and practice. And if you practice it and you still can't get it right, then you're not ready for your driving test. It's an essential skill, and it's not specific to Joondalup. You get merge points all over the place. But if you're going to attempt your test up here, just make sure that you are familiar with the area, because if you drive through a merge point and not recognise it as a merge point, then you're unlikely to get through your test. So it's not that difficult. Just think about what you're trying to do there, go and practice it and get it right. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your learning.